Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch channel on YouTube. I hope this sounds right. Having a little audio issues today with my computer after a Windows 10 upgrade, but I think I have everything figured out. So, predictive programming. In this particular vid here from some channel called Russian Vids, it's talking about the reporter shooting and using the analysis that predictive programming happened because a show called Mr. Robot that airs on USA Network has a plot line that is so similar to the actual incident that the show is postponing airing the episode, or who knows, they may not air it. But the analysis that you make when you see this kind of stuff being played out in our entertainment media or our news media, and you see and you're able to show it over and over again, like all the stuff before 9/11, all the stuff before other incidents like Sandy Hook and being in Batman. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a lot of actual conspiracy that happened before and for 9/11, and there's certainly evidence that Sandy Hook, there's something very wrong with that incident and not what we were told. In this case, what I think ends up happening is that people, and I was doing it too, there was no apparent other alternative for this. You see a show that has the same exact incident and plot line, and so you start to assume or come to the conclusion that it's predictive programming. And lately, I have been looking outside the box, trying to think after reading several books and looking at a lot of data about quantum entanglement, non-locality, and how our universe is affected by our perceptions. And I'm going to break this down into different videos some other time, but just to give you a little brief idea of how you should separate data when you're looking at this stuff and how I do it. There are things that you can prove. Excuse me. There are things obviously you can prove. So with quantum mechanics, there's experiments that are definitely provable, that there's quantum entanglement, non-locality, and all that other interesting stuff that's truly bizarre that until recent history would have seemed like impossible. But we have evidence for it. Now, is it predictive programming, or is this an example of what happens when many people will focus their attention on something emotionally charged in the future, a tragedy, something that reaches out to a lot of people, and then what ends up happening is before the event happens, there's synchronicity, there's this quantum effect. This is the supernatural way the universe works, that it was designed to work that way. And that's what I'm starting to conclude. So it's not necessarily predictive programming by elites. And I'm not even sure that this particular incident isn't any more than what we're told it is. The media has been building up this kind of racial tension for a while, and in a sort of karmic return to sender way, the media, unfortunately for these two people who are just completely innocent, seem like nice people from what I could tell. I'm not judging them or anything, but they were in the media, and the media has been pumping this out, this racial tension. The manipulation that the media does eventually has to come back to the media, because they're the ones, part of the reason that it's being sent out there. So that's the way a lot of these thinkers of how our universe kind of functions, it seems to fit with the reality that we can see in the universe and how our reality works. So unfortunately, we've all been trained into this multiple choice type analysis of information, and we don't think outside of alternatives that we're given. So it's either atheism or it's Christian. There's nothing else. There's no in between. It's A and B or C and D, but They never put in none of the above as an answer to anything. And I'm here to say that I've started to realize that a lot of things that we're analyzing incorrectly is because nobody's considering none of the above. So it's just a completely different take on this, that writers and artists are very in tune with things that happen in a I guess a higher realm, and because of they use a lot of that part of the brain, the imagination part, the ability to create stories and all this other stuff, that their very artistic brain would be in tune to these type of synchronicities. So the writers and people who make television show, they're all artists, and they put together shows without even being consciously aware that they are in some ways not doing predictive programming, because they're not aware of it. They're showing us synchronicity with everything that's happening around us. And that's something I've been trying to get out there on my channel, because nobody is talking about this. Nobody. Everybody has their own little boxes they fit everything into. And I'm saying I'm going to look outside the box completely. So it's not that the signs of the end times are because there's a second coming. To me, it's more likely that there are signs of the end times because there's 2 billion Christians, and an untold percentage of them, probably a lot of them, maybe a billion or more, have that in their mind. And when they're observing the world, they are looking for that, and then the world is then creating a synchronicity that shows them what they're looking for. It's kind of far out. It's a theory. It's based partially on proof of how scientists can show you proof of quantum effects, and then I consider evidence from other things like near-death experiences. Those are evidence. Noetic sciences shows evidence. They don't have proof. They have evidence. Scientists like Dean Radin will tell you that he is not offering proof. He is analyzing the data that they acquire, evidence for things. So, and that is scientific. I'm going to do another video following this one right away. I'm going to deal with an atheist issue I've been wanting to deal with. So thanks for watching, and I hope this makes sense. It's not necessarily predictive programming. It could just be synchronicity and quantum entanglement that you're looking at. All right, take care. Thanks. Bye.